There are new concerns about crime in Rio after 4 members of Team USA's Olympic swim team were robbed at gunpoint.
The group includes 12-time Olympic medalist Ryan Lochte. The swimmers spoke to NBC News about the frightening encounter.
They pulled us over. They pulled out their guns. They told the other swimmers to get down on the ground. They got down on the ground. I refused. I was like, we didn't do anything wrong. So I'm not getting down on the ground. And then the guy pulled out his gun. He cocked it, put it to my forehead. He said, get down. And I was like, I put my hands up. I was like, whatever.
All right, Ben Tracy joins us now from Rio de Janeiro. This is quite a story, Ben. What do you know about this robbery?
Well, basically, this is what we know. So Saturday night, Ryan Lochte and 3 other members of the swim team were at France's hospitality house at a party. Basically, all the countries competing in the Olympics have these hospitality houses around Rio. So early Sunday morning, they leave this party, they get into a cab, and they say that at some point they were stopped by some people posing as police, that they had a badge. Ryan Lochte has said they weren't in a squad car, didn't have lights. So these people come up and say, okay, everybody get down on the ground. And apparently Ryan Lochte said, I'm not getting down on the ground. We didn't do anything wrong. The guy cocks his weapon, puts it to his forehead, and basically stole all of their wallets, but did not steal their cell phones or their credentials. So, obviously a big scare. The good news is nobody was hurt.
Ben, the IOC initially denied reports that the robbery actually happened. Do we know why that is?
Yeah, it's a little strange. Yesterday morning it was quite confusing. These reports started surfacing that this had happened to Lochte and these 3 swimmers. And then at their news conference, the IOC came out and very strongly said this was not true. They said it's absolutely not true. From Ryan Lochte's mouth, we know this did not happen. And then they had to backtrack. All we can decipher is that the IOC got bad information from the United States Olympic Committee, but the United States Olympic Committee tells us they were operating with the information they had at the time. And if you read between the lines there, I guess what they're saying is that perhaps the story changed over time. But it is not entirely clear why that happened yesterday. But they did yesterday afternoon when they kept getting asked questions about athlete security. You could tell they were quite annoyed that this had now become the big story of the day as these U.S. swimmers were really trying to celebrate what they had accomplished over the weekend.
And I know when a lot of people heard this story, they were sort of surprised that such a high-profile Olympian was traveling around Rio without extra security protection. What are the safety measures that are in place there?
Yeah, my guess is the U.S. Olympic Committee was surprised that he was doing that. Basically, they tell us they have security protocols, that they have reiterated those security protocols to all of the athletes. But I did very specifically ask them, what are the protocols, and would going out at night without security violate those? And they told me that they can't discuss their security. So it is hard to know from the outside whether or not that is something. I would assume they strongly advise against that. But you also have, adults here in Rio who are finished with their events, and like anybody else in this town, are going out to have a good time. We should say these sorts of things happen here all the time, and it has happened several times during the games to coaches and athletes from other teams. This is the first time, though, that we know of it happening to U.S. athletes, and obviously Ryan Lochte is a very high-profile one.
Ben, before we let you go, we have to talk about some of the big highlights from this weekend. What were the standout moments?
You want to talk about the Olympics? All right. Good stuff over the weekend. We had a couple of things. Usain Bolt proved once again that the guy is just insane when it comes to sprinting. So he won the 100-meter dash, and he has now won the same event 3 times in 3 consecutive Olympics, making him the first sprinter to ever do that. Obviously, he beat Justin Gatlin, who's the American, so that was tough for Team USA, but watching Usain Bolt run is pretty amazing. Simone Biles was back at it in gymnastics. She won the gold medal in the vault, which gave her gold medal number 3, and she is now the first gymnast, male or female, first U.S. gymnast, male or female, to win 3 gold medals at one Olympics. And she's not done. She's going to be on the balance beam later today, which could make it gold medal number 4, which would really be historic for the U.S. gymnastics team.
All right, Ben Tracy in Rio. Ben, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.